What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video I talk about one of the most misunderstood topics in all of Amazon, and I'm going to harp on it like crazy. You guys are going to get tired of hearing about it. You're going to get tired of me. You're going to think I sound like a broken record. But that topic is search volume. So we're going to talk all about search volume, what it means, why you shouldn't really pay too much attention, and what you should pay attention to and try to gain access to, all in the next couple of 10 minutes. So you're going to learn more than you even thought possible, and you're going to learn more than most community college educations. Not college educations, because really at the end of the day, the only thing you learn from college educations is how to pay back a student loan. Unless you were a nerd. I'm not saying I'm not a nerd, but I'm somewhat a nerd. Unless you were a nerd and you got a scholarship, you probably still got to pay something back. And that something is usually your time. So without further ado, let's get off the topic of that and let's go ahead and jump straight into a topic that you probably are never going to want to find out more about. And that topic is search volume. So get on your thinking hats, get on your nerd glasses, and get ready to get your ass bored. Let's do it. All right, so we're here on my desktop, and what I'm going to explain to you guys today is one of the most misunderstood topics in all of Amazon, and this goes for KDP, merch, and selling FBA products on Amazon. It goes for anything on Amazon. So let's go ahead and just jump in and talk about it, and that topic is the true search volume of a keyword. So let's start by breaking this down and defining what search volume actually is. So I'm here inside of a presentation that I kind of prepared for something else, but it completely relates to this. So I'm going to just go off the cuff and talk about this presentation and the definition of search volume. So for those of you that do not know, search volume in simple terms is the number of searches expected for a certain keyword within a certain period. Now that period among all the actual tools out there is typically 1 month. So when you look at a tool, and I'm going to jump into a few tools here as an example in a minute, and you look at the tool and you try and figure out how many searches did this particular product have in any given 1 month period, that's the numbers that it actually shows you. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these actual examples. And this goes for any keyword search tool. It goes for all the free ones that I talked about in the last video. It goes for all the paid ones that I'm going to show here, and for just about anything out there, including Google Planner and things like that. So I'm going to look at market intelligence, and we're going to go to keyword research, and I'm going to go straight into the search, and we're going to go back and look at what we talked about last time, which was Dragon Coloring Book, right? And I do want to say this about search volume. The reason that I'm harping on this like crazy is because if you understand this concept, you will understand, number one, not only why your book are not being seen, but number two, you will understand that every tool out there is simply giving you an educated guess. The only people that actually know the true search volume are Google, and we've yet to know whether or not they're revealing to us the actual true amount of numbers. And number two is Amazon. And we all know that Amazon keeps everything for themselves, including which products sell best. And if you haven't seen it, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal talking about how Amazon has kept the best data for themselves, and they launch all their private label brands based upon this data that they get. And that's how they become a massive, massive player in the space, is they're just launching the top products that sell on their site, thus stealing other people's data, or technically it is their own, but they're just using it and hoarding it for themselves. And I will show you how they kind of give us the right data, but we don't really know what the true data is. And I'll talk about that too as the video goes on. So here we are at Dragon Coloring Book, and we can see that there's 103 results, or 103 relevant keywords to this particular keyword term. And right here, the combined estimated search volume of all these 103 keywords is 28,507. But let's talk about Dragon Coloring Book itself. It has approximately a 1,000 priority score, a 1,000 relevancy score, which I kind of briefly explained in the last video, 2,175 volume estimate per month. All right, so remember, that is per month. That means that every single month, 2,175 unique people actually search this term. What that means is that the reality is that you have 2,175 people searching for this and potentially buying it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they buy it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they buy anything at all, but they are searching for this term on Amazon.com. So all that means is if I go here and I was to search this Dragon Coloring Book, I am one of those 2,175 people. So that is the average amount of people that are searching for this every single month. Search volume trends, it shows that this actual term is down 3% and so forth. There's like opportunity score, average price for the actual products that come up for this search term, average number of sales, review count, and so forth. Obviously, books is the dominant category. So that is, in a nutshell, market intelligence. Now let's talk about Helium 10, because they have something similar. It's called Magnet. So I'm going to click into Magnet, And pretty much as I answered one of the questions in the last video, that is, why do I prefer Viral Launch by Market Intelligence? It's just because it's been around longer and I've been using it longer, and it was at one point in time the pioneer of the industry. But I'll be honest, I haven't actually used Helium 10. I don't know how good it is, and I've seen it getting nothing but better, and I've seen Market Intelligence sort of lagging. So I'm not actually 100% sure which one is the best, and I haven't done enough of the thorough analysis. However, let's see what it comes back with for Dragon Coloring Book, and then we'll kind of try and see if they match or not. And again, like I said, you can use a number of free tools as well. We talked about keywordtool.io or whatever it was in the last video, and we also talked about Keywords Everywhere and Amazon's Suggestion Expander. So all of them work, but most of them will pull different data from the others, and they're going to be slightly off. As you can see, it does take some time for it to come back with all this information, and it comes back with a bunch more stuff, like the total number of keywords that actually rank for this, the top products, the frequency of words, and so forth. And you can even further filter it down if you want to. But right down here, here's where it gets interesting. It also has a magnet IQ score, kind of like Viral Launch had a priority score. It kind of has something similar. And here's all the actual terms that come out for this. The term Dragon Coloring Book, it shows the search volume of 1921, which differs slightly from what Market Intelligence showed. It also shows some other information that I'm really not sure what it is, because again, I haven't actually used this that much. But my main point of this is that you'll see that the search volume differs from Viral Launch. So you might ask, why does that happen? Well, in order to answer that question, let's jump back into this presentation and continue moving forward, and then you'll kind of understand how all the pieces fit together as I kind of get to the main point. So here, if we did this search for Pug gifts, here's what would come back. As you can see, all these Pug gifts have different volume estimates on Viral Launch, and they also show that if they have less than 200, it just basically says less than 200. So what does that mean when it says less than 200? I mean, it could mean anything. It could mean it gets one search. It could mean it gets 199 searches. It really is up in the air, and I'll explain why that happens here in a second. But here is the biggest point of the video. All the tools out there, free or paid, they are just making educated guesses as to what the true data is. So what does that mean? Well, it means that they really don't know. They're making a wild guess based off of the information that they have at the database, based off of the information that Amazon shares, which I'll get into in a minute. But all in all, they are doing nothing but guessing. And there is only one true source for the data. And I will say this much before I tell you what that true source is. It is also kind of up in the air, and I'll explain more here in a second. But in order to get the truest and the right data, and I'll show you how much they differ here, you have to go straight from the horse's mouth, which is Amazon.com. So check this out. Here is a similar search that I did on both Helium 10 and actually this was with another tool. This is a tool called Zoof. I did this search with Zoof and Viral Launch. So I threw in another paid search tool just to kind of show you that they're all making guesses. And you can see that right here, Play Pots and Pans Set for Kids showed 0 search volume, which means nobody is searching that in the given month. That's what Zoof said. And you can see here, these estimates here for the Pug gifts are less than 200, which as I said before, could be anywhere from 1 to 199. Now, the truth is, Amazon actually has their own proprietary data to give you these numbers, and I've briefly showed them in my previous videos before, but that actual data is called, and this metric you should know, it's an advanced actual thing, and not a lot of people talk about this. This metric is known as SFR, and don't worry if I sound like very smart or nerdy. I'm truly not, I guarantee you. I'm out there drinking as much on the beach as you guys are, and here's the truth. SFR is the data that Amazon has collected. So just like I told you, I'm going to sound like a nerd here. This is the nerd term right here. And you guys will see that I do have a little bit of nerd in me. But SFR stands for Search Frequency Rank. And although I do have a little bit of nerd in me, I still got to read this actual slide because I'm not that smart. So this is the nerd term. I will dumb it down here in a minute. Don't get scared. Don't get freaked the fuck out. I will dumb it down. I promise you. But SFR is the numeric rank of a specific search term's popularity when compared to all the other search terms during a given period. And remember, that given period is typically 1 month. So I know you're saying, Liz, like, WTF, what is this? I don't understand. I've got my thinking face on. Well, the reality is SFR is nothing more than keyword popularity. So kind of think back when you were in high school. You go back in high school. How do they rate the girls and the guys in the school as most popular, right? Whoever more people like, right? Same thing with keyword popularity. It tells you how popular the keyword and which keywords to rank for. So the lower the SFR number, just like BSR on Amazon, we all know that bestseller rank, the lower the bestseller rank, meaning number 1 has the highest amount of recent sales versus something that's like number 10 or number 10,000. Just because it's lower means it sells better. Same thing with SFR. When it is lower, meaning when it has a number 1 SFR, it is the most searched for keyword in all of Amazon. And that's all the information that they give you. So let's take a look back at the play pots and pans. We're looking at that tool Zoof here again. It's 279, meaning that's the search volume. So it's saying 279 people are searching for play pots and pans on an actual monthly basis. However, on Amazon, we will see here, and we can recall that play pots and pans set for kids showed 0 on Zoof, meaning nobody is searching for that at all. But Amazon completely disagrees with the real data. Amazon tells you that it is search frequency rank of 668,000. And again, Amazon only shows you the top 1.5 million keyword search terms to look for in all of Amazon. Who knows? It could be tens of millions of keywords that are searched on Amazon. So what this basically means is play pots and pan sets for kids is pretty freaking popular. It's about as popular as the top 5 girls in your high school. And play kitchen pots and pan set, which shows 279, is actually even more popular than that. So again, these tools, they're just making guesses. And even moving a step forward, with the Pug Life Harness for dogs, you'll notice that it's estimated to have 1,799 search volume, according to Market Intelligence, and Pug Life Dog Harness has 1,501 search volume, which means that's the number of people on a monthly basis that are searching for this. However, if we look over at Amazon's SFR, Pug Life Harness shows it has a 64,000 search frequency rank, remember, number 1 being the best, and Pug Life Harness for dogs has 357,000. So Amazon is telling us that Pug Life Harness for dogs is and has less search volume than Pug Life Dog Harness. However, Market Intelligence is telling us the opposite. So what does that tell us? Again, these search tools are only making educated guesses. So do not take their actual numbers as the gospel. It's not true. They are only making educated guesses, and don't get your panties in a wad if you can't rank for these actual words. Chances are they aren't even the words that are actually driving the real sales. That's a whole nother topic that I could cover in another video, because there's an actual other metric that shows the actual words that are gaining sales from these actual search terms. And like I said, you want to go by SFR for now, because SFR is the most exact actual number. And if you don't have access for SFR, which chances are most of you don't, the only way you gain access is through a tool called Brand Analytics, which is free when you have your own trademark. So if you do have a trademark, I highly recommend you register for Brand Registry 2.0 with Amazon, because then you will gain access to this actual tool. If you don't, what you basically have to do is just do your best. So the whole point of this video is don't pay too much attention to all these words and all these different things you could put in the back end. Chances are they aren't even the actual words that work. It is pretty much all a guessing game. So what we've got to do is we've got to make the best educated guesses that we can based off of the information given to us, and not put too much time, effort, and energy into keyword research other than copying what people have already done and trying to emulate what the top sellers are actually utilizing in their actual strategy. And the way we do that is we just spy on our competition. So I will show you more about spying in a future video. But again, I know this video went way over most people's heads, and you're going to have to watch it once or twice. However, I can guarantee this. If you re-listen and you understand what I just said, you are ahead of 99% of Kindle sellers and or Amazon sellers in general, because most of them never even get to this point. Most of them have their heads stuck up in the clouds and up their ass, usually thinking that search volume from the top keyword tools out there is the gospel. However, you will be smarter. You will understand that Amazon themselves is the only true source of this data that really works, and that you really know what is actually making sales. So that's it for this video. It's a wrap. I know there's going to be a lot of questions, but I promise I will personally answer them. So whatever you've got, toss it on down below. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.